it up for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
He's stealing away. He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
Oh, Graham Rucker for the touchdown. Graham shoots it high on the right for 3.
This is the Buckeye Show.
Welcome to the Buckeye Show. 97.1 The Fan. I am Dave Biddle. I am joined by the legend Tim May. We have Rhyme Time at the controls. Tim May, how you doing this evening, my friend?
I'm doing extremely well, my man. I like this 6 to 8 shift because you can get all this stuff done. You know, if you do it right, it's the opposite of a night football game where you just have to spend all day getting ready for it, and then you get done and you leave the stadium at midnight and all that kind of stuff. Speaking of that, by the way, when's the kickoff for the Ohio State-Texas game?
It's the opposite of a night game. Yeah,
hey,
speaking of that.
Who saw that coming?
Nobody, right? I mean, I was holding out hope. I was like, well, Fox, when they announced that they had the game, didn't initially say, we have the game and it's on at noon. I'm like, okay, maybe there's a chance here. And Ohio State was trying to throw their weight around.
Yeah.
And there was a chance they could move it to Sunday. Texas said, no, we're not doing that. And now, of course, today, Fox came out and said, yeah, it's going to be big noon kickoff. No surprise. No surprise at all.
You know, the former, I got to throw it in there, the former Iowa coach Hayden Fry, as he would have put it, what a surprise.
What a surprise. Yeah, so, I mean, how do you feel about that?
Like, I'm fine with it. I mean, you know, do the pregame radio show, hopefully, and from 8:30 to 10:30, wander over to the stadium.
That's right.
Watch one of the biggest games of the year right out of the gate. And neither team is going to be anywhere close to how good they're going to be at the end of the year, even the middle of the year. You know, 2 new starting quarterbacks, both ballyhooed, if that's the correct term. Questions on both of them's defense. I'm not sure they're all going to be answered on that Saturday, but I like the idea of watching that game, gathering some info afterwards, and going home and watching, Clemson and somebody at 7:30.
Yeah, is it LSU?
Yeah, I think it's Clemson.
Yeah, that's
LSU.
I'm with you.
At Clemson, too.
Yeah. I'm with you. Selfishly, I like it, but, like, I kind of feel bad for the fans. Like, not kind of. I feel bad for the fans. Like, the fans that want this at night game, I get it. We were there in 2005, man, 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that was electric.
Yes.
And Ohio State fans were loving it until they weren't. I mean, it was a great game. And, you know, the eventual national champions, Texas, won. And really, whoever would have won that game, I bet, would have been the national champion. But the atmosphere was electric. So I understand the fans that were apoplectic about the fact that this is going to be a noon game. Like, for guys like us, yeah, we like it. But I feel bad for the fans.
Even though it was like you could have frozen popsicles early in the game against Tennessee, you know, and enjoyed them at halftime. And but anybody who saw that atmosphere, you know, and that was the first game they've ever witnessed at Ohio Stadium. Wow, I could understand the clamor for another night game, and I'm talking about the Penn State games we've seen in the past until Fox came into the picture. Now those are all big noon games usually, right? And so it's just the world we live in, man. It's just amazing that people do get worked up over it, because it seems like that you'd be eager to see your team play as soon as possible. Flip side of it is it might be 90 degrees.
That's the thing. Yeah, I remember Cooper's last year, 2000, when they played Fresno State in the opener. Obviously, you were there covering it. You've been covering the team since, like, 84, I believe.
Yeah.
I saw people passing out in the stands that day. David Carr, future #1 overall pick in Fresno State, coming to the opener. Cooper's final year in 2000. Dude, it was like 100 degrees.
Yeah.
But, like, with Ohio humidity, that is, like, nothing to be messed with. So, like, yeah, for a variety of reasons, it should have been moved tonight. But, you know, Fox, this is their thing. Now, they will stand Tim May. Tim May.
There you go.
I'm used to, like...
I don't like Timmy at all. I don't like Timmy at all.
I'm used to, like, hosting with Tim May. But, yeah, Tim, like people will say, like, and Fox will say this, like, well, the ratings are great. Look at Ohio State. Look at the ratings at noon. Yeah. Well, okay. I would submit whatever those ratings are at noon would be better in prime time. You could put Ohio State on in the middle of the night on a Wednesday, and ratings would be good. So you can say the ratings are great at noon. I have no doubt about that. They would be better at 8 o'clock at night.
But Fox doesn't have that time slot. I mean, you know, so...
they could if they wanted, though.
Yeah. Well, I know, but, you know, there are other contractual obligations with 2 other networks there, you know. So if you decided you wanted Texas and Ohio State, you know, if you're Fox, you wanted that game, and then, you know, you've got it now. You've got to put it where you you think it serves you best, and it's that noon kickoff because, and then, of course, but for the fans who want a night game, 2 weeks later, they host Ohio University at 7 or 7:30 p.m. on Big Ten Network, I think.
Little in-state rivalry there, Bobcats, Buckeyes. Hopefully the mascots don't fight. And
Grambling would be a 3:30 game for all those people who wanted a later start for that game. I'm not sure Grambling cares, but
like Ohio State kicking off the season with Texas is awesome. Like I know people are like, well, what's? I love it. Of course we love it. Like, and it's just that Ohio State Texas period would be awesome. The fact that they just played in the CFP semifinal in a just historic game.
Yes,
and now they're going to lead off the season against each other. And furthermore, who are the two betting favorites to win the national championship this coming season? Ohio State and Texas. You couldn't write the script any better, Tim May.
Let's touch on that. How much, barring a blowout by either team, how much, if at all, bearing will this have on the final college football playoff rankings?
Not much.
Right.
You're right. If you're Texas and you lose a close game at Ohio State, but then you go, even if you go 9-3 overall, so you have two, let's say, good losses in the SEC, you're definitely getting in the 12-team playoff. And if you're Texas, you lose to Ohio State and you only lose one game in the SEC, you're going to be a high seed in the playoff.
Where it could really be a stickler is if, let's say, Ohio State's 4 and Texas is 5, or vice versa. If one wins this opening game, that could be the tipping point, obviously. But there's going to be so much football that's going to be played after that. Said Tim May, also saying the sun is hot. But then past that, these teams are going to be so different at the end of November than they are on the last day. Is that the last day? Second to last day of August.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah, man. And the depth on this team is not what it was last year. They're a lot younger. They're extremely talented.
Yep.
If they can get good quarterback play, I think it'll be Julian Sayin. I'm not breaking news there. If they can get good quarterback play, this team's going to be a huge problem. Obviously, the biggest issue I see is depth at D tackle. And Ryan Day came out, basically said, we need to get a D tackle in the portal. But he also said, we're not just going to get one just to get one. And I think Will Smith Jr. stepped up, in the spring. They like their projected starters with Caden McDonald and Edric Houston. But that's the one weakness I see on this team is depth at D tackle.
Let's talk about this because I listened to your podcast the other day about odd fronts, and I want to expound on that later and stuff. But there are all kinds of ways, especially with Matt Patricia involved, to rob Peter to pay Paul in this situation up front because they're loaded at the defensive end spots in terms of depth, quality depth. And then you get the kid from Bo Atkinson, the kid from North Carolina, who could probably have transferred almost anywhere, but he opted to come to the Ohio State University, and so we'll see where that carries him. By the way, who's leading the Memorial Tournament as we speak? Is it Ben Griffin still?
It is.
At
Ben
minus
Griffin,
5?
7 under. Colin Morikawa is 5 under. Max Homa, 4 under. Shane Lowry, 3 under. Keegan Bradley, 3 under. Nick Taylor, 3 under. You go down. Scotty Scheffler, the betting favorite, 2 under.
Hey, man, he scrambled the last 2 holes to get that stay there.
I have my $5 bet on Morikawa.
Yeah.
At 14, I got a 14 plus 1,400. So, $5 to win 70.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
I probably should have went a little bigger than that. I just wanted a little skin in the game, man.
Speaking of college football, when you hear the word Ben Griffin, I immediately think of Ben Hill Griffin, which is the name of the stadium, at Florida, Steve Spurrier Field at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. And so I immediately looked up, is he kin to that family? No, supposedly he's not. But his grandfather on his mother's side actually played Major League Baseball back in the 20s and 30s and actually got hit by a line drive off the bat of Babe Ruth, which kind of stunted his career for a while. So all these little anecdotes that kind of come out of nowhere.
That's the best way to stunt your career. What happened?
Well, it hurt his rib.
Babe Ruth hit me in the ribs.
Hurt his rib. He got tuberculosis, and but then he kind of came back. But I'm not sure he was ever the same guy, kind of like Dizzy Dean.
There's a guy who knows a little bit about college football who likes Julian Sayin. We're going to talk about that next. Buckeye Show.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
This is the sound of a popular American motorcycle. It's the sound of freedom, the open road, really good times. And this is what it sounds like with a drunk guy in it. How do you like the sound of that? Cops are cracking down on drunk motorcycle riders. If you ride drunk, you will get caught and you will get arrested. Drunk riding. Over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Things are popping at Al's Delicious Popcorn. With over 80 flavors to choose from, we have something for everyone. From classics like caramel cashew, white cheddar, and our famous vanilla butternut to new flavors like chicken and waffles and spicy barbecue. They are all made fresh and they are all delicious. Visit us online at alspopcorn.com or come see us and experience the best service in town at 1500 Bethel Road in Columbus. Al's Delicious Popcorn.
The future of recycling is now at Rumpke Waste and Recycling. The recycling leader has opened North America's largest, most technologically advanced recycling center right here in Central Ohio. This one-of-a-kind facility features interactive displays, educational opportunities, and the ability to process over 60 tons of recycled material per hour. Rumpke is committed to recycling and sustainability efforts, and for more than 90 years, Rumpke has worked to make sure the items you place in your recycling bin get used again. Visit Rumpke.com to learn how you can team with Rumpke to put less trash in our landfills and more of it to good use.
Attention Columbus. Town Properties just clinched the title of the largest residential property manager in Columbus, thanks to the Columbus Business Journal. With pride, we oversee 25,000 plus households in the Columbus metro area, ensuring fantastic places to call home. Whether you're on the hunt for an exceptional living space, a top-notch association management company, or a property manager for your multifamily portfolio, visit our website at town-properties.com and let us elevate your living experience. Town Properties, always managing great places to live.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, community banking is the lifeblood of the American financial system, building strong, lasting relationships. We're just better able to help guide you down life's road. Flexibility is paramount to success. Community banking is alive and well in the Heartland. I'm Scott McComb. Come on over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The Fan at 1460 ESPN Columbus is your radio home for Sunday Night Baseball.
Sponsored by the Waterworks. Call the Waterworks and Header Heating and Cooling today at 614-232-2222.
The Fan.
At Kroger, an annual Boost membership is better than ever. Save up to $1,100 each year on gas, groceries, delivery fees, and streaming options. With double fuel points, unlimited free delivery, and exclusive savings for members, there's so much to love about Boost. Sign up for a Boost membership today. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance is prepared for what's next and protects what matters most to you. With independent insurance agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova Insurance is an easy win for your peace of mind. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Michael Behrens. We're looking at a few showers that could be possible tonight. Otherwise, quiet weather, mostly cloudy. Temperatures dropping down into the upper 50s. We'll see rain showers, possibly some storms come in for your Friday because of the amount of rain and the people in town for the Memorial Tournament. We have a 10 CV Weather Impact Alert Day in place, so be ready for those showers, high near 70. That's your latest 10 Weather Impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
All Buckeyes, all the time. You are listening to The Buckeye Show.
Welcome back to The Buckeye Show. Dave Biddle, Tim May, Jacob Reimer, and this guy, Nick Saban, knows a little bit about football. Tim May. And
that's what I heard.
He thinks Ohio State redshirt freshman quarterback Julian Sayin is pretty good. He handpicked Julian Sayin and Thankfully, Nick Saban retired. I don't think anybody benefited more than Ohio State from Nick Saban retiring. Maybe Nick Saban's wife. I don't know if she wants him around. Like, other than that, I don't know if anybody benefited more than Ohio State. Right. Caleb Downs, like Julian Sayin. I think McLaughlin would have transferred here.
Yeah.
I think he transferred here anyway.
He was already he already had left.
But getting Caleb Downs and Julian Sayin. Hello. And Nick Saban, maybe he still is, was in our great town yesterday at the Pro-Am at the Memorial and had some things to say about Julian Sayin. Hit it rhyme time.
He does have a quarterback battle ahead, and you recruited Julian Sayin. He transferred to Ohio State upon your retirement. What makes him a competitor in this race?
Well, Julian's a great young man, and I think he's getting bigger and stronger, but he's got really good touch, really good accuracy, a good judgment. So he's a really good young player.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Tim's not buying that he's getting bigger and stronger. No, I
am buying it. I am buying it.
He is, like, people ask me, is he really 6'1"? He's definitely at least 6'1".
I was winking at you because there's a big secret going on out there that he's going to look like he did a year ago, and he's not.
No, yeah. Mickey Marotti does not have you look the way you did a year ago.
Right.
No.
Right, or you don't pass the program. But,
exactly right.
He posted, I think Julian posted, or somebody posted some video. A bunch of Buckeyes got together and worked out in California, several weeks ago and stuff. And I retweeted the video, and I just invited people to just watch this guy's release, man. I know they're just throwing the ball around, but, kind of a glorified 7-on-7, whatever you want to call it, workout. But just everything about this guy, man, it's why Nick Saban had recruited him probably to be his last quarterback when you think about it. The way things turned out and stuff. But now he's at Ohio State, and I think everybody's excited about seeing it. Obviously, he hasn't won the job yet. I don't think Ryan Day is kidding about that. And Lincoln Keynotes has come on big time. But just when we're talking about Julian Sayin, the GOAT had handpicked him to be probably his final quarterback at Alabama, and then the GOAT got out of the corral.
Says a lot to me. A tremendous amount.
The goats live in corrals, by the way. Pen. Got out of the pen.
You would know better than me about that.
He got out of the pen.
But yeah, I mean, Julian Sayin, I don't know how you feel about this, Tim. I'm convinced he's going to be at least a good starting quarterback at Ohio State. My question is when?
Yeah.
Is it going to be like his first start against Texas? Like, that's a lot to ask. Is it going to be like midseason? Because even C.J. Stroud, his first start as a redshirt freshman at Minnesota wasn't the C.J. Stroud that we all got to know and love. So, like, when is Julian Sayin going to be a good or maybe even a great quarterback is my question.
Yeah. I think C.J. Stroud, though, was really his rep was tainted by the first half of that game. The second half of that game, he played pretty darn well. I mean, and of course, Ohio State was reluctant to really let the reins loose. When you have an opener like Ohio State, Texas, two teams going to be maybe 1-2 in the country, or 2-3 or 1-3, whatever number you want to throw out there. It doesn't really matter at this point won't matter at that point of the season. But the bottom line is, you still want to win that game. You still want to give him enough rein, to ride that horse, because it is sort of a Kentucky Derby type game. I mean, it's huge. And so I'm being interested to see how much rein Ryan Day and Brian Hartline give him. Also, Steve Sarkisian and Arch Manning. I mean, everybody's raving about Arch Manning. He played, he started 2 games last year in place of injured Quinn Ewers. But we haven't really seen him play in a big-time game. We saw him going to the Ohio State game and never played again, right?
Lathan Ransom smoked him.
He got ransomed. He got held up.
Ransomed.
Yes, held up for ransom, whatever that song is. It don't really matter to me, baby.
They were laying hits on people in that playoff, man. All 4 games, they were just smacking people. And I don't think there was one targeting penalty.
Unbelievable.
We're
going to diverge and go into another subject here.
They found the secret sauce of, they were just drilling dudes, and there were no, targeting penalties.
That defense played on such a level in the playoffs. Playoffs, yes.
Playoffs.
Even against Michigan, played extremely well, with the exception, really, of one drive. Who knew the offense wasn't going to score, right?
Right.
But the bottom line is, I mean, it may be a while before we see a defense like that. I mean, at Ohio State again, because I hadn't seen one in quite a few years, maybe 2019, but it wasn't on that level. Do you agree?
I definitely agree. It's right up there with the best defense I've seen at Ohio State. 2002 is obviously in the discussion. I mean, all 11 starters on that defense were drafted, and A.J. Hawk was a backup in 2002, so everybody was drafted. The latest pick was Donnie Nicky, who was a 5th-round pick, so everybody was drafted 5th round or sooner. Same thing with 2024. We don't know yet, but I think Caleb Downs will probably be drafted. I think Sonny Styles will probably be drafted. I'm being facetious. I think IGB will be drafted. My point is, once again, 2024, we're going to look back. Every starter was drafted, and most of them high. Already, a lot of them have been drafted. 8 of them have been drafted. And then even some of the backups, like guys like Jermaine Matthews, guys that are just going to be absolute studs that played a decent amount as backup. Arvell Reese, Caden McDonald, Edric Houston. So all 11 starters on that defense were drafted or will be drafted, and many of the backups. So, I'd put it right up there with some of the best, and the best defenses I've seen at Ohio State. 14
and 15 were pretty damn good defenses, especially at the end of 14. And then 15, all those guys came back and stuff, and it rained just before Michigan State game, and the
kept raining.
The offensive game plan went down the toilet, but with it, but it was too bad because that team should have played. I thought it had as much credentials to play for the national championship as the 2014 team did. What do you think? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you on that, and I want to let everybody know, follow along on our YouTube feed if you're not already. 971 The Fan on YouTube. We have a very lively chat going on right now, and people are talking about Nico's cracked helmet. I reached out to Tennessee twice to try and buy the cracked helmet. They didn't get back with me.
No, they probably
Scotty
didn't.
Vegas wanted to buy it, and I said I will be the mediator. I'll reach out, say, are you guys interested in selling that? Especially now that he's
everybody's scrambling for cash right now, right? So why wouldn't you put that up for bid?
I was going to say, I want to buy the Nico helmet. Was that also Lathan Ransom? Who cracked? Oh, no, I think that was Cody Simon.
You think they still have it, or they just throw it away in a trash can in the shoe?
I don't know. Neyland North, you mean? I'm not familiar with this shoe that you're speaking of. Listen, you don't want to nickname the stadium that you're going up to that has the largest fan base in the country. That was that
got me in trouble.
That was tugging on Superman's cape a little bit.
That got me in trouble, on the Paul Feinbaum show.
What happened?
Where I said, I remember a bunch of volunteers left Tennessee back in 1836, headed for Texas, and ended up in San Antonio at this little place called the Alamo. And I said, and if I remember correctly, none of them came back. And Feinbaum goes, "You had to go there, didn't you?"
I love it. I thought you were going to go Civil War. You went even earlier.
Oh, 1836, man.
You went
Davy Crockett.
Yeah, you went the U.S.-Mexican war on me there. I wasn't expecting that.
Davy Crockett was a Texan for a month and a half.
A month and a half.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah, and Rhyme Time, how do you feel about noon kicks? I want to bring you in here. How do you feel about noon kicks?
I like them. I think with the 8 o'clock kicks, they are cool, and the atmosphere is really nice, but to me, it just feels like the day just takes forever to get to that 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
I know, and we're biased. I get it. But if you're just a fan, I understand.
I do too.
That you want it to be an 8 o'clock game, and if you're Ryan Day, you probably want it to be an 8 o'clock game for recruiting. 7:30 if you're Mark Pantoni. I get that, but for us,
don't you think purgatory is 3:30? That's the purgatory game, isn't it? Because
that's always been my favorite.
It wipes. Yeah, but it wipes out, like I said, I like to watch college football, man.
Yeah.
And, we have things to do before the game, and then you got the game, which gets over at 7 or 6:30, and then you have post-game responsibilities like I do. You get home at 9:30 or something, and you've missed all other college football, and that drives me nuts because I'm a big college football fan.
I'm with you. You might get, if it's a 3:30 game, we're done working, you might get some of the second half of the night games.
Yeah, some of.
Maybe. But I'm with you. Selfishly, I love the noon games. I get done working early enough where I can catch maybe the end of the 3:30 games, catch all of the night games. I love it, but I understand the fans don't like it. Real quick, we'll talk more about this.
By the way, I like having 3 or 4 games on at once. That's my favorite thing to do.
Matt Patricia. So I'm curious to get your thoughts on this. So Jim Knowles, obviously, they had the number 1 defense in the country in every meaningful stat last year. They won the national championship. He's off to Penn State. They bring in Matt Patricia. I like it. I'm curious what the dean of the beat thinks.
I like Matt Patricia a lot. We talked about this last night. When I found out he was an aviation buff, it just elevated him 10 more rungs. And here's the thing. He's different. number one. Number two, Jim Knowles left and went to Penn State, so he's not coming back. He's probably not even going to be invited back. He wasn't even invited to the, as he called it, the celebration parade, but it was really a gathering at Ohio Stadium. But so you got to get over that, right? I mean, fans do. And here's Matt Patricia, who he'll tell you it was not a fun time at Detroit as a head coach for the first time, but he did damn good things at New England. And yeah, Bill Belichick wasn't calling every defense. I mean, Bill Belichick is a great guy to have advising you on what to do defensively and things like that. But Matt Patricia got recognized as having ideas of his own, for one of another phrase. And I really like him. I think he's really intelligent. He's really into, and we're going to talk about this later, he's really into whatever these guys can do best, we're going to feature that. And but when you got a guy like Caleb Downs who can do almost everything, you start there, and no matter there are only 3 starters back, you start right there and move out from there.
So it sounds like the Big Ten and the SEC disagree on a format for the CFP. That's in 2 minutes. This is the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. A lot of dealerships not stocking much inventory right now because of reasons. But at Jermaine Lexus, they have new inventory arriving every day. Get what you want when you want it. Lease the all-new NX350 for as low as $389 per month. How about rates as low as 3.99% up to 48 months and 4.49% up to 60 months on their most popular models? Jermaine Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton. Check them out online, JermaineLexus.com.
As America's largest custom home builder, Schumacher Homes believes a top-quality home should be affordable for everyone in the Buckeye State. We work with the leading architects to bring you the latest in design, and then you have the ability to make changes. Not just selecting finishes, but moving walls, adding rooms, literally customizing anything from the ground up. It's a misconception that custom homes have to be expensive. We work within your budget to build an amazing home on your land. Visit SchumacherHomes.com or any of our 9 Ohio locations.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Are we drinking the scarlet and gray Kool-Aid? You bet we are. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Welcome back to The Buckeye Show. Dave Biddle, Tim May, Jacob Reimer at the controls. So much drama in the CFP, as usual. So we're going to stick with, there are going to be 12 teams this year. They're going to seed them just like the top 12 teams are the 12s. Perfect. I like that. Now, next year in 2026, they're probably going to go to 16 teams, and everybody has a different thought about this. The Big Ten wants what is called the 4+4+2+2+1+3 model, which means 4 Big Ten teams, 4 SEC teams would be automatic. 2 Big 12, 2 SEC or ACC would be automatic. The group of 5, the highest ranked group of 5 champion would be automatic, and then 3 at-larges. And a lot of other conferences want the 5+11, meaning the 5 highest conference champions and 11 at-large. Tim May, if you were the commissioner of college football, what would you do?
I would appeal for early retirement. Hey, has there ever been a time, seriously, is there ever been a time in college sports when you needed a czar?
Yes.
Meaning, at some points, you need somebody to come in and just, instead of the committee doing everything, we know what happens when you have committees involved. Somebody coming in and going, all right, you guys elected me. This is what we're going to do. we're not really going to have discussion on it and move on from there. I do believe that the Big Ten and the SEC, if you go to 16 teams in the playoff, do deserve 4 teams each in the playoff. Do they deserve more than that, like the SEC? They're acting like this would really shackle them, like they wouldn't be able to get their other 4 deserving teams in there. Think about that, Bids. But you need somebody to just come in and go, this is what we're doing, and we're going to do this for 5 years and see how it goes. And everybody's going to publicly like it. You know what I mean? Just that kind of edict kind of stuff. And then you go back to the committee, which would then mess with it. But you might find out it would be quite successful. As I'm on record, I'm not a fuddy-duddy. I don't live in the past at all. But I thought the BCS was great, matching the top 2 teams. There was only an argument for 1 or 2 more teams in that. And I say this all the time. When you went to 4, there was an argument for 4 or 5 other teams to be that 4th team. And now when you go 12, and we know what it was last year, Alabama, despite having 3 of the worst losses out there, thought it should have been in. When you go to 16, if you guarantee half the field is going to be from the Big Ten and the Southeastern Conference, I don't know how you can argue with that setup. And then, yeah, if there's one other deserving team from one of them, they can get one of those 3 at-large bids. But what do you think, Bids?
I would prefer the 5 plus 11, meaning the 4 champions of, can we still call it the Power 4? It's really the Power 2 and the other 2.
Yeah.
And then like the highest ranked.
Power 4 light.
Group. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then the highest ranked group of 5, and then 11 at large. I like that. Now, if I'm the Big 12 and ACC, Tim, like, I'm not too upset about if they went to the 4 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2, meaning the ACC and the Big 12 would get 2 automatic berths each, because if I'm those conferences, you're probably not going to get more than 2.
Right.
You might just get 1.
Right. I mean, look at the ACC last year. If Clemson had an upset, and really it was an upset SMU, you can see what the numbers would have shown. So, no, you're exactly right. The only reason I like the 5 plus 11 is it will reward who's been good this year. You know what I mean? And that's what I like about it is you won't get in as an 8-4 Southeastern Conference team or a Big Ten team just because your league has 4 guaranteed spots in it. So that's where I sit. I mean, you can't equate the SEC to the Big Ten to the ACC to the Big 12. I mean, you can't really seriously sit down and determine this team is better than that team based on this team beat this team in this league, while this team beat this team in this league. I mean, the SEC and the Big Ten don't even come close to playing each other. Their whole league's much less playing crossover games. If that gets to be part of it, that'll be much more of an indicator of what's to come.
If you're Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjork, you have so much on your plate. This is one of those things, if I'm Ross Bjork, I don't care about at all. It doesn't really affect Ohio State,
like
right?
Greg Sankey said the other day.
It's like it doesn't. It affects like certain schools. If you're Iowa, you're paying attention to this. Name a school. Like Ohio State, it's like we really don't care. Like if it's 12, if it's 14, if it's 16, how are you going to do it? Like, we don't care. Like we're going to be in the mix.
Yeah. Imagine being a head coach at Ohio State 30 years from now and what the playoff will look like. I just said that so it would take Ryan Day out of the equation, although he could still be coaching, right?
He definitely could be if he wants to.
He could go the Joe Pa route,
yeah.
But I don't see that. But he could. But the bottom line is, imagine it's just like the NCAA tournament, which we're going to talk about in a minute too, about possible expansion. But imagine you will be every year expected to be in the college football playoff. I mean, you should, right? With this level of a program, just like Alabama, just like Georgia, just like Texas. And it'll be interesting to see what kind of pressure that puts on, because it used to be, boy, if you just got your team to a bowl game, remember of Indiana and all these places, you get your team to a bowl game, you've had a hell of a year, Well, that's not the case anymore. And if you go to 4 guaranteed spots for the Big Ten and SEC, there are going to be jobs on the line at the end of the year.
And the thing I like about the CFP, I mean, I like a lot of things about it. I like when they expand the CFP, Ohio State tends to win the national championship. And they went to 4 teams, Ohio State won it, 12 teams, Ohio State won it.
So you're saying 2026?
Look out in 2026, exactly. Ohio State, yeah, exactly.
Veteran quarterback, veteran defense, except for Caleb Downs not there?
No doubt about it. Ryan Day wants to go back-to-back. Maybe he'll get a second win in 2026, though. We'll see. Maybe he'll go back-to-back, a little three-peat. But, yeah, it's funny. I mean, like, I completely lost my train of thought what I was going to say there. But, yeah.
That's okay, man.
Let's go back to talking about Matt Patricia, because I cut you off. And I did that a little late in the last segment. I want to get more thoughts on Matt Patricia, because I feel like, Tim, that was a home run hire. And I hear a lot of people, and you touched on this a little bit, like, yeah, but he was a really bad head coach for the Detroit Lions. It's like, okay, first of all, he's not coming here as head coach. Even if he was, can we talk about the list of college coaches that did not do well as NFL head coaches? Because Urban Meyer's on that list. Yeah. Nick Saban is on that list. Steve Spurrier is on that list. Do I need to go on? So, like, yeah, I mean, on and on and on. So, listen, as you said, what he did with the Patriots speaks volumes to me. And then what we got to see in the spring, the way he was, like, and I didn't think it was just lip service. Like, he's going to adjust his scheme to the strength of his players. And this goes into I think we're going to see a lot more odd fronts this year from Ohio State.
I got that impression from your podcast.
Yes, sir. So, like, I want to get more thoughts on Matt Patricia. I felt like I pulled that out a little bit late in the last segment.
I just like the idea of, remember last year, middle of the season, I came up with a nickname for Caleb Downs, Lathan Ransom. I call them Sidewinder missiles on an F-16. The missiles at the end of the wings,
I love it.
at the tip of the wingtips that you just fire off and are heat seeking. It'll be interesting because he's going to have many of those kind of concepts. I do believe you've got to let Caleb Downs be free. I mean, whatever you want to call it. You don't have to call him a free safety, but you got to let him, the way he diagnoses, the way he prepares and then diagnoses what's going on the field and gets other guys involved and gets them lined up correctly, et cetera, especially when you looked at the linebacking core because, Sonny Styles is back and stuff. Arvo Reese played a lot last year too, but Cody Simon was just he was a force, man. The last half of the season, he should have won the Butkus Award. But in the playoffs, just go watch it. Watch him, man. Just watch Zero play. Watch him zero in. It was crazy. And Caleb Downs is the same guy. And so you got to let him play. So I'm really curious, but you've got to have a guy, because you know about football, man. 2 plays later, you may have another safety in there because of the physical nature of playing the game. So you can't make things so crazy that the next guy in for that guy can't play the same position. I think I asked Matt Patricia about this during the spring. You may have been there, may not. But when I said, rumor has it, legend has it, you coached 11 different safeties in 2011, I think it was, at with the Patriots. And he was coaching the safeties. And he ended up getting 11 different safeties ready to play through the course of the year. Think about that, man.
That's crazy in the NFL.
That's crazy.
So just obviously a lot of injuries.
Yeah. So my point is, he teaches a fairly, I think, simple concept of your job within the concept of the defense. And I think that's what's going to show is guys are going to have jobs to do. If they don't do them, be taken out of their responsibilities, whatever, gap responsibilities, et cetera. You always got to cover the gaps, right? But it'll be interesting to see him doing those things and making it simple as he can, and then it going into this complex machine.
So a pair of Buckeyes were named to an award watch list. Neither of them are J.J. Smith. We're going to talk about that next. This is The Buckeye Show.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
Bands are us when dreams don't get in. Bands are us.
Right
now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
Baths are us. When dreams sunk in, Baths are us.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
Hey, Ohio State fan, are you ready for game day? Get hyped and get your crew going with the Buckeye Meal at BK. For $20, you'll get one juicy flame grilled Whopper sandwich, one original chicken sandwich, 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers, 3 crispy golden small fries, and 3 refreshing small drinks. Grab your $20 Buckeye Meal today and share the taste of victory. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. Tax extra. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
It's Kubota Orange Days. From America's #1 selling compact tractor to zero-turn mowers and versatile RTVs, get your perfect match delivered to your door. Now through June 30th, get 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,500 off BX23S tractors. See the details at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
Visit BuckeyeKubotaDealers.com to find a dealer near you.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith, Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag BuckeyesCare.
We at The Fan have created a show where you can be a homer, a hater, or whatever you want to be. Your family may not listen to you, but we will. Sundays at 11, it's The Fan Call-In Show presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus. You're welcome.
The big focus in America today is on your health, and you're determined to look beyond pills and steroids and surgery to feel your best, right? So I want to talk to the person who is in pain right now. Or maybe it's someone you love. You've done everything they told you to do, and the pain just keeps coming back. Hey, it's Tyvis Powell for QC Kinetics. They are different. These are not quick fixes. This is a revolutionary treatment that works to give your body long-term relief. You'll meet face-to-face with Dr. Aaron Wilkoff and the QC Kinetics medical team. They'll explain how their regenerative treatments take your body's own healing power and helps heal and restore your damaged tissue. These are well-respected protocols that include potent and powerful cellular level treatments. QC Kinetics has helped tens of thousands of people, so many of them right here in Columbus, Ohio. They'd be honored to help you as well. Yes, you can say goodbye to that chronic pain and live your best life. Find out if you're a good candidate. The consultation is free. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. The best damn radio show in the land. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Welcome back to The Buckeye Show. Dave Biddle, Tim May. Rhyme time at the controls. Let's get a little memorial leaderboard for you. Ben Griffin, 7 under. Colin Morikawa, 5 under. Max Homa, 4 under. Shane Lowry, 3 under. Keegan Bradley, 3 under. Nick Taylor, 3 under. Going down a little. Scotty Scheffler right there at 2 under. You guys have any bets on the board?
I don't gamble.
I threw $5 on Colin. I'm not like Scotty. I threw $5 on Colin. Oh, can you lie?
I gamble on the Kentucky Derby every year and the Super Bowl.
Okay,
but that's it.
And Ohio State football. I'm kidding. No. I'm kidding. And you have Morikawa and Max Homa, right? Rhyme time.
Morikawa, Max Homa, and Ludwig, but Ludwig did not have a good day today.
Oh man, he went.
People get on your bandwagon.
Oberg on us.
People get on your bandwagon. One of the spokes breaks.
So as promised, like a couple of Buckeyes were named to watch list. So obviously one of them is J.J. Smith, right? No, but they haven't done the Biletnikoff Award watch list, which is why. Caleb Downs and Sonny Styles on the Impact Trophy watch list. No surprise there. Caleb Downs and Sonny Styles. Caleb Downs, in my opinion, the best defensive player in college football. J.J. Smith, the best offensive player. Not that I'm biased at all, but Caleb Downs and Sonny Styles.
Well, you're really out on an island there, man. Making that statement.
I know, right? Right, I know. I know.
Gilligan's Island.
Just way out on a limb there. Yeah, but I mean, Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles, and Sonny Styles to me, it's like he's definitely going to have that block that Cody Simon wore last year, and I think he's going to have a big year as a second-year starting linebacker, third-year starter after moving from safety. And Caleb Downs, my gosh, Tim, absolute cheat code. As you mentioned there, calling him a free safety doesn't even do it justice. Rover back, it might. During the playoff run, they used him as like a hybrid Mike.
He was like a linebacker backer.
Yes,
is what he was.
Exactly.
He was a linebacker backer.
I've never seen it, and it was beautiful. And I've heard
great.
I was giving Jim Knowles credit for that. I've heard a lot of people say you should give Matt Guerrieri credit for that.
Probably.
All right, let's give Matt Guerrieri credit for that. Way to go, Matty G.
Yeah. You know what I've always said, and this isn't slamming Matt Guerrieri because it'll sound like I always said I would like to have been Eddie George's running back coach. You know what I mean? Or Jesse Owens' track coach. I would like
to be Tim Spencer too.
Jesse Owens' track coach.
yes. It was
run, Jesse, run.
Jesse, just go do that.
Yeah.
Way to go, Jesse.
Glide up over there, get down, and then run as fast as you can to right over there. And then we got the 200 right after that. But
then flip off Hitler.
But yeah, I mean, the bottom line is, nothing was it had to be approved by Jim Knowles. Let's put it that way. You would think, right?
Right.
And stuff. But there was more, consortium thinking going on in that defensive room than a lot of people give it credit. But Jim Knowles had great ideas, man. But Guerrieri, you've been around Guerrieri. He's a sharp dude. I mean, and safety seemed to like him on the recruiting trail.
No doubt about it. Yeah, he's like one of those guys, like, as you know, we talk to certain guys when they're like young in their coaching career, like, hey, this guy's a future head coach. I don't know if he's going to be a good head coach. I don't know if he's going to be like at a blue blood. Could be. He'll definitely be a D1 college head coach eventually, and Ohio State's fortunate to have him. I thought that when Knowles left, I thought they might promote Guerrieri and Walton to and they did promote them to co-DCs, but I thought they might be the ones calling the defense together. This, to me, is like the perfect thing for Ohio State. You keep Guerrieri, you keep Tim Walton, they both do a fabulous job, and you bring in Matt Patricia, and it seems like, we'll find out, Tim, the proof will be in the pudding. It seems like those three men have meshed very well so far.
Yeah, I mean, and I put forth the Tim Walton, Matt Guerrieri kind of idea just as a possibility. I mean, and you got to think, it looks like Ryan even thought along those lines when you look at the promotions and the redesignation of people so you can give them even more money, all that kind of stuff justified. But Ryan, man, I think as a head coach, you've always got to be thinking next year. And by next year, I don't mean, this coming year, but next year, meaning how are you going to change things? You remember when I asked who was the guy that ended up at Ohio State at Penn State, the quarterback's coach, Yursich.
Yeah, Mike
When I asked him that about pollinating the flower, I don't know if you remember that or not. But that's what you want. That's what you want. You don't want stagnation in your coaching staff, and a lot of times it happens almost by osmosis. You get the chance to have a new guy come in. And I think it makes sense. Matt Patricia wasn't going to come here and be safeties coach or linebackers coach. He wasn't going to take that job. Well, $2.5 million, you'd probably take any job, right? I would, but
yes.
But back to what I was saying. But have him come in, and then just see what the talent looks like now. Now, what do you do with it? That's got to be different. And all these players told us throughout the spring, but never delineated. It's going to be different, and things are different. And so it'll be interesting to see how different, because you're going to get a test right out of the bat from let's face it, one of the genius offensive guys out there, and Steve Sarkisian. If we use the genius word loosely when it comes to football a lot of times, because you pretty much got to do what your guys can do. But I'm just curious to already see that little showdown between Sarkisian and Matt Patricia. I don't know about you.
I'm definitely looking forward to that for a multitude of reasons. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the offensive line. It was like entering last year was like, oh, geez, Is this offensive line going to be good enough? If you told us they lost Josh Simmons and Seth McLaughlin, and you told us Josh Simmons would be a first-round pick, McLaughlin would win the Remington Award as the best center. They lose both those guys. Oh, gosh, they're in big trouble, right? The offensive line ended up being, like, pretty good during the CFP run, maybe very good. You know, Donovan Jackson, you lose him as a first-round pick. Josh Fryer, undrafted free agent, probably in a typical year, probably would have been drafted. You had a lot of people this year that would have been 6th or 7th round picks that went undrafted because you had couple of COVID classes, plus you had more underclassmen that turned pro compared to last year. So a lot of guys that would have been 6th and 7th round picks were undrafted. But man, it was almost a blessing in disguise, Tim, because they still won the national championship. Yet guys like Luke Montgomery, Carson Hinsman would not have seen the field if not for those injuries. Crazy. Now, those guys are coming back with not just experience, but national championship experience. You bring in
Tegra Shabola also.
Yeah, and Tegra Shabola. I mean, Austin Saravel, to me, might be the best offensive lineman on this team. That was the one that, Ryan Day said, I don't know where he's going to start. He will start.
He will start.
He will start. And then I know Max Clare was the highest rated player they got in the portal, and they did a real good job in the portal. Yeah, Max Clare did a great. I think Ethan Oniano was the most important player they got.
Agreed.
Plug and play left tackle. Agreed. I think Saravel's going to be the right tackle. I think Phillip Daniels would be that swing man. Shabola coming back, as you mentioned. Hinsman. You have Luke Montgomery at left guard, and then, as I mentioned, Onianwa.
Padilla coming along.
Padilla, Ian Moore. Exactly. Yeah. I like the starters. Man, I like the depth. I like the new coach. And I like Justin Fry as a coach. He was a very good offensive line coach. Didn't like recruiting, but I like Tyler Bowen. Man, this offensive line, Tim, I think they have a good thing going with this O-line this year.
And they've got a coaching staff by committee for that offensive line, too. I mean, those two guys who they brought in to be with him. I keep referring to Tyler Bowen as the offensive line coordinator. Because that's really what he's going to be doing. I mean, there are a lot of great minds working in there. And on top of it, I just keep thinking about, like you just said, I mean, this time a year ago, Luke Montgomery, who was Luke Montgomery? I mean, he was a guy that was highly touted coming out of high school, Findlay, and didn't seem to have a spot. I mean, really didn't seem to have a place where he could play. You know what I'm talking about on the offensive line, from tackle to guard to maybe center. You know, who knows what they're going to do. And then the way he stepped up after all the injuries happened and stuff, I thought he was as important to that run, that stretch run, as anybody on that team, the way he played. I mean, go watch him. Go watch him on Travion Henderson's screen pass, catch and run halftime just before halftime against Texas. Just watch what he and Tegra Shabola do out there in front, and Carson Hinsman. Speaking of that, Carson Hinsman, they would never tell us he was in the doghouse, but he was in some kind of house.
He was in the doghouse.
He was in some kind of house that was in the back of the yard that wasn't the main house.
Might not have even been as good as the doghouse.
No, it might have been scraps, and bottom line is the way he came on and just said, I'm back and I'm bigger and better than ever. Wow, that was about as impressive as it gets.
I can't remember anything that even comes close to that. So he was the starting center for all 12 games as a redshirt freshman, right?
Right.
All 12 games. Then he's basically has a secret suspension for the Cotton Bowl. They didn't say it was.
Right.
He went on that podcast, probably said a little too much. And then MIA for the first 7 games of the season.
Wasn't even a consideration, really.
Yes, and then all of a sudden comes back. He's the left guard, and then after Josh Simmons got hurt, and they kicked Donovan and then Seth gets hurt, so then he's got to kick inside to center and does a great job. Now he's come back. You have people saying, "Hey, he's an All-American candidate,
leader."
But this guy,
blah blah blah, right on down the line.
And
he's huge, man. You've been up against him. He's very strong,
big boy, and that's
and then Saravel, like you're saying, Saravel was your. He got banged up a little bit last year, too. But Saravel, I mean, the way that's what we're talking about the other night, man. Offensive linemen, this idea that you recruit guys out of high school and develop them anymore, you got to have a couple of those guys, right? But you got to have your eye on the portal. If you're Alabama, Ohio State, the big-time schools, Georgia, you got to have your eye on the portal of a guy who's already been developed playing college football somewhere else. And just like with Josh Simmons ended up being the highest-rated tackle in college football by the middle of the season last year before he got hurt. Are you kidding me? He came from San Diego State. And so I think that's where we're going with that. But sometimes last year, some guys, man, you get pushed into that corner and you either come out fighting or you go through the little door that's right behind the corner, right? And these guys, Luke Montgomery came out fighting. I was quite impressed. Carson Hinsman, same thing.
He's Tim May. I'm Dave Biddle.
Other than that, I have no opinion.
I like that you have opinions. You're not at a loss for words very often, which I appreciate about you. So Tim May and I love talking Ohio State football. This is the Buckeye Show. So up next, we're going to talk more Ohio State football. This is the Buckeye Show.
Bo Bishop is a media legend. We have no idea where the other guys came from. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
They're trained. They're prepared. Let's do it. They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Soy has been keeping secrets, and it's ready to share. Soybeans are among the most versatile agricultural products. They are used in creative ways you may have never realized to make products we all love and use every day. Ohio is leading the way, developing new uses for soybeans to support our changing world. Soy low-key slays, and I'm here for it. Learn more about soybeans at soysecrets.org. This ad brought to you by Ohio soybean farmers and their checkoff.
Donato's is bringing you huge savings on a large pizza. For a limited time, get any large one-topping Donato's pizza for just $10.99 when you order online and pick it up. That's right, just $10.99. I'm going with that pepperoni. But hey, you pick your favorite topping, then pick up your large one-topping pizza for just $10.99 when you order online using promo code PICKUP. That's promo code PICKUP. Pick up your Donato's and save today.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good evening. I'm Jacob Reimer. First round of the Memorial Tournament got underway today out at Jack's Place. Ben Griffin is your early leader with a 7-under 65 today. Colin Morikawa is alone in second place behind him after a 5-under day. Max Homa, Shane Lowry, Nick Taylor, and Ryder Cup captain Keegan Bradley sit right behind him. The Ohio State football team announced some kickoff times today. As we already knew, Texas stays at high noon for week 1. Week 2 against Grambling at 3:30. A primetime night game with Ohio at 7:30. And just like every year, the Buckeyes will finish the season with Michigan at noon. Both Ohio baseball teams are off tonight getting ready for their weekend series. In the Eastern Conference Finals of the NBA playoffs, the Pacers can lock in a matchup with the Thunder in an NBA Finals with a win over the Knicks tonight. Game 5 from Madison Square Garden tips off at 8 o'clock. Breaking sports news when it happens on the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
It's time for the College Football Pulse on the Buckeye Show.
Welcome back to the Buckeye Show. Dave Biddle, Tim May, Jacob Reimer. Man, that first hour flew by.
Yeah, it did.
You guys want to do a second hour? I think we should do it.
I'm up for it.
I think we should do it. And now it's time for the College Football Pulse. Hit it, rhyme time.
So we got our guy Lane Kiffin apparently has a solution for the college football playoff expansion.
Who doesn't?
He said the best system should be 16 teams and should be the best 16, or should be the 16 best. He added that a metrics-driven selection process with no automatic qualifiers is probably the way to go, with a committee made up of members who have no obvious conflicts of interest, saying probably media people that watch the most, that are on it, and don't have any other motives in it, and figure out the best 16 teams. However, it seems like other SEC leaders don't seem to agree.
Yeah, I hear what he's saying, and it makes logical sense. But I'm somebody who believes that the Big Ten and the SEC should have more teams. You know, I'm okay with that. But like, I don't want to completely box out like that. Yeah, I still want the Big 12 and the ACC to be involved. I still want a group of 5 team to be involved. If you do straight 16. You might get 2 of the 3. You might not get all 3 of the 3. So
I thought it was cool to see Ashton Genty, for example, in the college football playoffs last year. I thought it was cool to see SMU in the college football playoff. That's just my own take on things.
That was good for SMU, especially having to deal with the death penalty many moons ago to then make the first 12-team playoff. Like, good for them. But yeah, that's an interesting one. I hear what Lane Kiffin's saying, but I like the 5 plus 11 the more I think about it.
You know what he didn't say is that and we should get in computer rankings involved. And you kind of go, everybody should look at each other and go, yeah, that's what they did in the BCS, coach, and nobody seemed to really like it over the course of time. I didn't have any problem with it because even the computer rankings didn't always spit out the same 1-2. But because there's bias. That's what I wanted to say to him. There's going to be bias involved one way or the other whenever it involves humans, and humans are the ones who load the info into the computers, et cetera. So, yeah, I could go along with almost anything just to get people to shut up because there were so many ideas that came out of the SEC gathering or whatever you want to call it, right? The
spring meetings in Destin.
It wasn't exactly like the College of Cardinals picking a pope. They didn't come out of there. They didn't come out of there with any kind of answer. We
have an American pope.
Yeah,
let's go.
Yeah, there you go. Let him choose the teams. What the heck? He's about as unbiased as you could get.
He'll pick Northwestern.
Yeah. And Notre Dame.
And Notre Dame. Of course I'll pick Notre Dame.
It has been so crazy.
Maybe Boston College.
There has been something going on at each big conference's spring meetings. So like the SEC, you have the college football playoff expansion. The ACC was nothing but Bill Belichick and all the news around there. Mm-hmm. We'll get into it later, but the Big 12 is trying to push the expansion of the NCAA tournament. What's going to come up with Big 10 when they have it?
Jeez, I don't know. What do you think, Timmy? Tim May.
Are you talking about expanding from 68 teams to what are we talking about here? Expanding the NCAA tournament from 68 to 72 or something?
Yeah, there was a report about that the NCAA president wants to do that.
I've never understood why you can't just add. How many would it be? My math is not as sharp as it never was. I like Toby Keith's song. But I don't know why you couldn't just add another round, that feeds in to the round of 64.
Do like 96.
And what would that be?
Or
would that be 128 teams?
128 would be like that's what they do in tennis.
If that doesn't appease people, I don't know what would.
Yeah,
right?
You could do 96 where the first you have to the.
And the higher
other 32 teams are just trying to get into 64, but you could just do it 128 like tennis does.
Right.
The Grand Slams in tennis, French Open's going on right now, U.S. Open, Wimbledon, Aussie Open. It's 128 people. You have to win 7 matches to win it. So.
Right, but you could have could do the first round of the college football playoff. I mean, one team would host the other. The higher rated team would host the other team, and you would probably put if you're being really mean, you would put all of the automatic qualifiers from the little bitty conferences, which spice up in my opinion usually the first round games in the round of 64. They spice it up a little bit, but you could, if you don't like them anymore, you just get rid of them in an opening round of 128. But it would just be them playing, to get into the 64.
For hoops, I'd be okay with 96. That'd be as high as I would go.
I agree.
128 seems like to be too much. Although if it was 128, Ohio State would probably actually get in the tournament, which we have not done recently. All right, Rhyme Time, go ahead, my man.
So we have another comment on the position of the Notre Dame-USC rivalry and how it may be coming to an end. That comment coming from head coach Marcus Freeman. He said, it's pretty black and white for me. You want my opinion? I want to play them every single year. Win? I don't care. I don't when we play them. Start of the season, middle of the season, end of the season, I don't care. I want to play USC every year because it's great for college football. How do you guys feel about Freeman giving his 2 cents on this?
Amen. Good for Marcus Freeman. I've always loved him. I'm glad he didn't win his final game this past season. But seriously, I've always loved Marcus Freeman. I covered him when he was still being recruited. He was a 5-star linebacker coming out of Huber Heights, Wayne in the Dayton area. A school that's been very good to Ohio State with Braxton Miller and others. Josh Padilla's right now at Ohio State from Wayne. I love it, Tim. What do you think?
I'm thinking Notre Dame needs to get into the Big Ten. I've been thinking that forever.
Never going to happen.
Very, very long time. And then that could be your designated rivalry in the Big Ten, like Ohio State, Michigan. And you would play them every year, home and away. You know, right now, the Newt Rockne and who was the coach at USC way back in the 20s who put this together, and they agreed that they would play every year because they thought it was good for the teams and good for college football. And the agreement was you would play at Notre Dame every other year, no later than October the 15th or October the 30th before it got really cold. And then Notre Dame would return the favor and play at USC the last game of the year, next last game of the year, because it doesn't get cold in Southern California until the Rose Bowl. So I could see where things would work a lot better if, in fact, Notre Dame would just pony up and get into the Big Ten or saddle up.
That would be nice. I kept thinking they would. They never will now.
Why does Notre Dame get this extra seat at the table with the commissioners of these other conferences, et cetera?
Because there's an American Pope.
Yeah, but why is that tradition still alive in college football when almost everything else is going down the?
I hear you.
Going down the toilet, I think is my favorite word or favorite phrase tonight.
If I'm Notre Dame, I'm doing exactly what they're doing. I'm like, come on, join the Big Ten. They're like, no, we're good. And
that is a cool place to see a football game, though. Agreed.
Heck yeah. I enjoyed the '96 game a lot. Ohio State, Notre Dame. No, Urban Meyer didn't like it as much. He was Notre Dame's wide receiver coach that day. Didn't like the opening kickoff, and Demetrius Stanley, the late great, almost took it for a touchdown. Took it inside the 10, and Pepe Pearson scored a few plays later, and Buckeyes rolled the Irish as they want to do.
How's Ohio State going to replace Eddie George? Right?
Exactly.
Well, there you go.
Well, you got Orlando Pace on that line, like have Pepe Pearson 1,300 yards behind him.
How's Ohio State going to replace Terry Glenn, David Boston?
Exactly. How are they going to replace Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Right.
J.J. Smith.
J.J. Smith.
All right. Give me another one, Rhyme Time.
So there was an article put out, rankings from Will Backus of CBS Sports on a number of college coaches who have a real chance to boost their stock in 2025. Those names are Brett Bielema of Illinois, Fran Brown at Syracuse, Hugh Freeze at Auburn, Brent Key at Georgia Tech, Joey McGuire at Texas Tech, Sharon Moore at Michigan, and Brent Venables at Oklahoma. Do you like any of these guys to kind of take a leap this year in college football, or is there another name that you guys might be thinking about?
Bielema is interesting because I think Illinois is going to be good. I like they were good last year, and they have a lot of guys back. I love their over of 7.5 wins. McGuire at Texas Tech is interesting because they have a booster who is a multi-billionaire oil maven who is pouring money into the football program. He's also pouring money into everything. Like they bought a softball player from Stanford for $1 million, which is actually working out well for Texas Tech softball. So Texas Tech, to me, will probably win the Big 12 if I had to guess because of, first of all, they're bringing a lot of players back who are good. They did well in the portal. So McGuire from Texas Tech is what I'm looking at, but Bielema is another one, Tim.
Yeah. I mean, people probably want to hear this, but they finished, 5th in the Big 10 last year at 8-3. 6-3 conference record, tied with Iowa, and I think Ohio State plays there this year, if I remember correctly. And so he's a guy. I mean, that's going to be huge. But there are going to be a lot of huge games throughout the course of the Big Ten. But that guy at Texas Tech, like you just pointed out, talking about the backer, he's the modern day T. Boone Pickens.
Yes,
except T. Boone he didn't get to go crazy, with the NIL aspect of things. Although who knows what they really were doing, right? Oklahoma State went on probation a few times back in the day, but yeah, it's crazy. And like we just saw Jasmine Burns, Ohio State's home run record-setting catcher. Part of that really resurgence of Ohio State softball this year is in the transfer portal. The best hitter, as a guy at Ohio State now we're talking about today, the best hitter in the transfer portal right now, set the Big Ten record and the Ohio State record for home runs, and that's too bad. I think she batted like 450.
Oh, my gosh.
And all of a sudden she's in the portal. I think she was a sophomore this past year. Wouldn't be a surprise if she ends up at Texas Tech or one of those Southeastern Conference schools. Because, they take softball. I'm not saying Ohio State doesn't take softball seriously. Kieran Kumar is about as serious as you can get, but they take it seriously from an NIL standpoint down there. A lot of these other sports, because they don't have very many sports at most of these Southeastern Conference or what is it, Big 12 schools anymore. Texas got 21, 22 scholarship sports. Alabama, same thing. So they can put their money where they want it to go, and so it'll be interesting to see where she ends up.
I really like college baseball, and they take it super serious in the South, super serious, and that's why they're so damn good at it. And hopefully, Ohio State's never going to be on that level, but I really like college baseball.
Did you see the seeding for the NCAA tournament?
Yeah,
6 out of 8, 6 of the
SEC.
top 8 are SEC schools.
Yeah, I think everybody else is like ACC or Big 12, but yeah. But I think, probably Wright State will probably beat Vanderbilt, the number 1 overall seed, don't you think? I'm kidding. I hope so. That'd be nice.
Can't win it if you ain't in it.
That's right, the Raider gang. Let's go. All right, so what do we think is going to happen to Michigan? So the Committee on Infractions will have their hearing. It is starting a week from tomorrow. Get your popcorn ready. What's going to happen to Michigan? That's up next. This is the Buckeye Show.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
Road trip. This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings because you're driving to Paris,
Texas.
Then it's off to Rome,
Georgia.
And you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio.
Right now, save up to $514 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill, when your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway, and you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
AgPro has been family-owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
Health insurance companies are expected to carry health benefits, but CareSource does so much more. We look beyond doctors' offices and hospitals to see the challenges that face our members. Then we help them achieve not just better health, but better lives. Along with great benefits, we also help our members find stable jobs, housing, childcare, and rides so they can find greater independence. At CareSource, we're removing barriers, we're improving lives, we're reimagining healthcare.
Things are popping at Al's Delicious Popcorn. With over 80 flavors to choose from, we have something for everyone. From classics like caramel cashew, white cheddar, and our famous vanilla butternut, to new flavors like chicken and waffles and spicy barbecue. They are all made fresh and they are all delicious. Visit us online at alspopcorn.com or come see us and experience the best service in town at 1500 Bethel Road in Columbus. Al's Delicious Popcorn.
Come on over to Heartland and
Join our family.
Now, community banking is the lifeblood of the American financial system, building strong, lasting relationships. We're just better able to help guide you down life's road. Flexibility is paramount to success. Community banking is alive and well in the Heartland. I'm Scott McComb. Come on over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If you miss a little, you'll miss a lot. Search for your favorite fan shows wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe. Every episode comes right to your phone absolutely free. Modern technology, it's a hell of a thing. Do it now. The Fan.
For over 30 years, Schumacher Homes has been building affordable custom homes throughout the Buckeye State. Experience true customization on your land, your way, without any compromises. Come visit any of our 9 Ohio model home and design studio locations to see the latest in design trends and learn about our award-winning building process, or start online at SchumacherHomes.com. You'll be surprised how affordable a custom home will be. Schumacher Homes, proud home building sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hey, Ohio State fan, are you ready for game day? Get hyped and get your crew going with the Buckeye Meal at BK. For $20, you'll get 1 juicy flame grilled Whopper sandwich, 1 original chicken sandwich, 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers, 3 crispy golden small fries, and 3 refreshing small drinks. Grab your $20 Buckeye Meal today and share the taste of victory. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. Tax extra. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. Mostly cloudy skies as we head into the evening. A few showers could be possible. Temperatures out there will fall down into the upper 50s overnight. High near 70 as we head toward tomorrow. Showers and some possible thunderstorms due to possible heavy rainfall on people in town for the Memorial Tournament. 10 TV Weather Impact Alert Day will be in place, so be ready for the rain. Rain showers should move out by the weekend. That's your latest 10 Weather Impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
If you still have a weird rash from jumping in Mirror Lake, we can be friends. This is the Buckeye Show.
Welcome back to the Buckeye Show. My friends, the Buckeye Show is brought to you by Coors Light, the Silver Bullet. What a perfect sponsor for the Buckeye Show, the Silver Bullet.
Yeah, absolutely. Scarlet lettering.
We're about what? Rhyme time, we're about what? About 40 minutes away from cracking a Coors Light or 3?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. The 3 of us are going out later.
Hey, who's that Ohio State president who referred to the Buckeyes as a silver and red?
The silver and red?
Yeah, you remember that.
It wasn't Guy, was it?
No, heck no.
Was it?
It was a female.
Oh, yeah. Was it? I forget her name. What was her name?
What a statement. But,
I forget her name.
Let's move on from there. Let's don't get quagmired here.
All right, so like Michigan, what do we think is going to happen with Michigan? I'll go first, but then I'll kick it to the legend, Tim May. So I do not think they're going to get the proverbial hammer. Now, my definition of the hammer would be like death penalty. They're not going to get that like what SMU got like years ago where you don't even have a football program for a couple of years. They have to start from scratch. They're not going to get that, obviously. I don't think, and a lot of people disagree with me on this, I do not think they're going to get their national championship stripped. I do think they're going to lose some wins. They're going to vacate some wins. I think Sharon Moore's suspension is going to get at least tripled, at least doubled, I'll say. Right now, Michigan has a 2-game self-imposed suspension for games 3 and 4. Tim May, we're both fathers. This would be like we would like ground our kids. Like, okay, you're grounded for 2 weeks. All right, cool. But I can still go to the party on Friday, and then the grounding starts right after that. No, you're grounded right now. You don't get to pick when you're grounded. So I think Sharon Moore is definitely facing more than just a 2-game suspension. I think they're probably facing maybe a year or 2 postseason ban. What do you think, sir?
I don't think, you know what? It'll be interesting to see if the postseason ban comes into the conversation. I would think where college football is right now and where the NCAA is right now with missing most of its teeth, some are teeth, some are there, some aren't. I would think I'd be surprised to see a postseason suspension. I'll just say that much for the program. I would expect to see Sharon Moore spend at least one more game in the doghouse, perhaps 2, because the self-imposed suspension isn't like the Jim Harbaugh self-imposed suspensions from a couple of years ago, where he got to do everything but be at the game. I mean, sometimes he was in the same city, but he wasn't at the game.
Right, like Indiana, right? Or no, Penn State. Penn State. It was Penn State that I'm thinking of.
Right.
Yeah.
Penn State is when they got the phone call and while they were on the plane, so to speak. But going into State College, not that pilots don't have enough to worry about going into that short field, but that's another story for another day. That's an aviation. We'll talk to Matt Patricia about that. But the bottom line is, they're going to get more penalties than what they've self-imposed. Let's put it that way. I think the head coach, who clearly was involved in something because he's taking it on the chin here, could miss 4 games. That's what I'm thinking. Does that mean 4 weeks? Like they self-imposed that he has to miss the whole week, just like Urban Meyer had to do back in 2018 for those 3 games, plus preseason practice. We'll see where that goes. But I would think there has to be something. I would think penalty. There's going to be some kind of financial penalty involved because that's the way you really hurt a program anymore. If you strip their national championship, what does that mean?
I think that would hurt them the most. I think they have plenty of money.
But what does it mean?
But I think if you took away the title, because you took away like when they got to the Final Four with the Fab Five, they didn't win a title, but they stripped those away, and I think that still stings. I don't know. I mean, be the tiebreaker here, Ryan. Like if they take away the national championship, would that sting for Michigan, or would that just kind of be whatever? We saw it.
Well, I just wanted to ask, who did the Fab Five lose to in that national championship?
North Carolina.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Time out.
And Duke. See, you thought I was going to let you get away with that.
Nope. Hey, Chris Webber traveled.
Both of them. They lost to Duke and North Carolina. Way to go, Duke and North Carolina.
Time out. Famous quote from that game.
He never should have been called for traveling.
I know.
He never should have been called for the timeout because he traveled. I'm sorry.
Right.
That was like the most obvious traveling ever, Chris Webber. And they didn't call that. And he's like, how did I get away with that? So he's like he dribbles up the court. I didn't get called for traveling. So of course he's like in disarray. Timeout.
He's like he's running to the restroom.
All right, so let's get back to so again, get your popcorn ready, my friends. Unless you're a Michigan fan, then you probably don't want your popcorn ready. You're just like, let's let nothing happens here. But it starts a week from tomorrow, the Committee on Infractions, the hearing in Indianapolis with Michigan. So we'll see what happens. I don't know when we'll find out. I don't think it'll be too long after that. We should find out somewhat soon after that, maybe. All right, let's get back into Ohio State football. Odd fronts. We're talking D-line. Listen, I think Ohio State really likes their projected starting defensive tackles with Caden McDonald, who was huge last year coming off the bench. I mean, they had the best defense in the country last year, and
they had the best goal line stand defense in the country. That is for sure.
Yes, sir.
And he was part and parcel.
That's darn right. They would bring him in there, and they would leave Tyleek in there. They would leave Ty Hamilton in there. You just bring this 340-pound beast in there, and they were just killing teams on the goal line. Now, he steps in as a starter. They like Edric Houston, who played a lot, as you know.
I like him a lot, man.
Yeah, man. He was a 5-star, came in as a DN. They bulked him up. He's now the 3-tech. I think they really like him. They feel like Will Smith Jr., we know the bloodlines are good. They feel like he's a guy on the rise at D-tackle, but they don't love their depth at D-tackle, but they've got a lot of depth at defensive end. I mean, you're bringing back Caden Curry and Kenyatta Jackson, who have waited their turn. Mm-hmm. You brought in Logan George from Idaho State in the portal, who they really liked during spring. Then you bring in Bo Atkinson, who was a great get in the portal from North Carolina, jumping off that Belichick ship. You got C.J. Hicks moving down the D-end. You got Zion Grady, even though as a true freshman, could add some depth there. Yep. And then if you go 3-4, you could have guys like, if you have Peyton Pierce in the middle there, you could move Arvell Reese around a little bit. You could move Sonny Styles around a little bit. You have different options there. I think we're going to see a lot of 3-4 this year from Matt Patricia and the Silver Bullets.
And there's all kinds of ways you can play a 3-4 or, throw that out there. I mean, because, it's there are kinds of ways you can mix and match and make up for the fact you don't have super depth at defensive tackle. You just put a guy down in there who's a matchup nightmare for a guard or a tackle, step up into a gap and things. There are all kinds of games you can play up front to just kind of mess with the offensive line's situation. But, yeah, I do like that because that's the way you can rob Peter to pay Paul, as referred to earlier on that defensive front. And, a guy I keep talking about you want to see come on because he's got potential is Tywan Malone. I mean, he looks the part. And, man, if he really steps up, like you said, along with Will Smith Jr., they'll have decent depth there. We talked about this the other night, Bids. Hero Canoe, what do you think? I mean, I just don't. Sometimes I just don't understand some things.
You know, Tim, it's funny that you brought that up.
He transferred, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, to Texas of all places.
Yes.
We'll get to see him. His first game is going to be in Ohio Stadium of all places. As I'm sure you do. I'm sure you did. I always enjoyed talking to Hiru. Very good young man, charismatic. Obviously grew up in Germany and everything. Really good guy. And Tim, at first, like when he transferred, people asked me, why did he transfer? I'm like, well, obviously, I'm sure they promised him more playing time because he didn't play as much as he wanted to last year. Right. Now, new defensive coordinator, who knows? But then I also said, and I was wrong about this, I said, had to be NIL as well. Okay, they probably gave him a lot of NIL. Then people were like, no. They reminded me, no. If you're on a student visa, you're ineligible for NIL. Like Zach Edey at Purdue a few years ago, right? So,
exactly.
So unless something's changed, and I think that's kind of a dumb rule, but unless something's changed, now you can be on a student visa and still have a job if you're an international student, but it has to be on campus. So you could work at like the recreational center. I would argue NIL is an on-campus job, but apparently it's not. So, Tim, it must have just been like,
Talk about the hurdle the NCAA has to get over to get this straightened out. You just touched on it. You didn't mean to do that. The word contracts is the word you're looking for there.
Though, I think
for college football and basketball players.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But I thought it was both those things. It was playing time, which I'm sure that's true, and NIL. But it has nothing to do with NIL. So I'm sure it was just playing time.
Yeah, and sometimes guys just want a breath of fresh air. But good luck to him at Texas. I'm sure Texas is thinks they've gotten a prize cow here. They're going to milk him for information about everything, right? I mean, as they can get. But as we pointed out the other night, but they've got a new defensive coordinator at Ohio State named Matt Patricia. And as we were told all through spring, as I'm repeating from an earlier episode tonight, things are going to be different on the defense. We just don't know exactly what. Because I'm telling you, the spring game was not a big reveal. That's why Julian Sayin had a hell of a start in that game and played well, but he wasn't exactly going against the New England Patriots of 2016 defense.
Matt Patricia was serving up a lot of vanilla that day, wasn't he?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, he was forced to, but that's what you do. I mean, Nebraska canceled his spring game because they're afraid scouts were going to be
which was ridiculous.
In the stands.
Right. I mean, like, seriously. And by the way, I applaud Coach Patricia for not showing anything in the spring game. That was well done.
I'm sure he was told not to by the head coach Ryan Day.
I'm sure he was. But even if he wasn't, he's smart enough. I think he would have been like, I'm not tipping my hand.
Right.
The Buckeye Show is brought to you by Coors Light, the Silver Bullet. All right, up next, Garrett Wilson, we think, is about to have an offensive explosion with the New York Jets this year with Justin Fields throwing him the ball. That's up next on the Buckeye Show.
Dude, I think I just wrote the song of the summer. Listen.
That's just you drinking a big gulp from Speedway.
Exactly. Song of the summer. Here comes the drop. Crisp, fruity flavors like the limited time Mountain Dew Pitch Black. And just 89 cents for any size with Speedy Rewards? That's a summer hit.
I'm not sure you know how songs work.
The convenience stores of Speedway. Hold on. You gotta hear how it ends. Valid through 6/24/25. See app for full terms.
Feeling stressed or overwhelmed? Not sure how to get the mental health help you need? We've got your back. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442. We'll help you figure out what mental health benefits may be in your health plan. No more confusion, just the support you deserve. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance is prepared for what's next and protects what matters most to you. With independent insurance agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova Insurance is an easy win for your peace of mind. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Ryan Day's favorite radio show. Probably. Maybe. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Welcome back to the show. Rhyme time, you almost had to take over the show here. You have old guys back here, like, working out. Tim's, like, doing curls. I'm doing push-ups. Like, there was a chance there was going to be, like a double heart attack here.
I wish we had the cameras on. That was incredible to see.
He inspired me. He's over there doing curls. I'm like, I'm gonna do some push-ups. All right, so speaking of push-ups,
it's pretty lame to be 71 like I am, and I'm the strongest I've ever been.
That's not lame. You look great, man.
I know, but what about the last 70 years?
Hey, better late than never, man. Look at him, 71, just pumping iron. He's the legend, man. I want his energy now. I almost said I want it when I don't even know if I'll make it to 71. If I do, I definitely want his energy. I want it now.
But I can barely get out of the chair after I sit down. So that's what I got going for me.
We picked a great break to do our workout, too, when it's like the quickest break of the show, the 2-minute break. Jacob's over there like, oh, God, these guys are going to die. I have to do the rest of the show myself.
I'm going to curl. I'm going to do curls throughout the break because I knew it was a short one.
All right, rhyme time. So we think Garrett Wilson's going to be pretty good this year. He was good the first 3 years, and now he's got his boy Justin Fields with him, and let's hope Garrett Wilson breaks out. I know you have some sound for us.
You know, just a big smile going on your face. It's someone that I'm familiar with, someone that I have a great relationship with, someone that I love just watching him play. Like, just since I met Justin, it's been a pleasure to line up alongside of him, and then when I'm on the sideline, like, I just got to watch him. And I mean, his first play at Ohio State, like touching the ball, he went like 60, 70 yards running down the pipe with the defense for a touchdown. So, like, that's the type of stuff that sticks with me when with Justin. And so, you know, I didn't think we'd get this opportunity on this level. So it's exciting. I'm still taking it in all the way. It's cool. It's cool. We've been definitely, you know, picking up where we left off.
They're getting the gang back together.
You got you got a lot of Buckeyes there. Josh Myers joined the fold. You still have Jeremy Ruckert there. I'm leaving one out. Obviously, Fields and Garrett Wilson. I feel like I'm leaving one more out, but like a lot of Buckeyes there with the New York Jets.
Yeah, but you know, hyperbole is the name of the game anymore, right, in this society. But when we started saying, hey, have you ever seen anybody better than Marvin Harrison Jr.? Well, doing certain things, maybe not. But have I seen a guy who was as spectacular? And remember the catch against Clemson?
Oh my gosh, that opening drive.
Garrett Wilson, I'm talking about.
Jeez.
I mean,
was he on an elevator?
It was like Terry Glenn. It was like the rebirth of Terry Glenn, who, by the way, was pretty damn good. You know,
pretty good.
Just when you know, and now we're talking about Jeremiah Smith because he's a different wide receiver. He's a tight end playing wide receiver who's very fast and can catch everything. But yeah, Garrett Wilson, man. Chris Olave, of course, was as spectacular in so many ways as Garrett Wilson. Sometimes you kind of get blinded by each other's abilities when people are watching them. And then all of a sudden, you know, here comes Marvin Harrison Jr. Really, he has, Emeka Egbuka, but Emeka Egbuka is one of those workman-like wide receivers. Agreed? I mean, rarely catches any ball you throw to him for the most part. Will go over the middle like a savage, but wasn't that spectacular leap into the air. Yet he did make a spectacular catch last year, a couple of years ago, in the spring game when all we were doing was talking about the debut of this guy or that. Remember that?
Yeah, so, one-handed catch, yeah.
Yeah, but my point is, Garrett Wilson is a hell of a receiver. He got banged up, I think, last year, right, some. And Aaron Rodgers was so much, you know, you saw those Hard Knocks. He was so much looking forward to hooking up with Garrett Wilson on a regular basis, and it didn't work out, and it's too bad.
And they brought in his boy Devontae Adams, and he just tried to force feed him the ball, and Garrett Wilson was not happy about that at all, and rightfully so. Now Garrett Wilson's happy, and I'm for Justin Fields, man. I mean, who knows how it's going to work out, but he got a 2-year, $40 million contract from the Jets, $30 million guaranteed. We'll see what happens.
I still think it's there for Justin Fields. He should never be confused with some of these other quarterbacks. He's different. I mean, and he's got to be able to use his run. You remember when he was with the Bears, he got so tired of losing that he just took off running, you know, and then you kind of get into a habit like that and stuff. Who knows what happened last year with Pittsburgh? They couldn't figure out the quarterback situation. You had a fading superstar or fading star in Russell Wilson. I'm going to say superstar because he won a Super Bowl and should have won another one. But it's new life for Justin Fields, and really it's kind of his moment, his season of truth, for want of another term.
It's going to be interesting what happens in Pittsburgh this year with the quarterback. Like, everybody thinks they're going to get Aaron Rodgers, and they probably will. They have Mason Rudolph. They have our guy, Will Howard, who I would have lost a lot of money to May betting that Will Howard would not have slipped to the 6th round. I foolishly was like, oh, he'll be a second-day pick. He'll either be late 2nd round or sometime in the 3rd round. I was convinced. I was screaming from the mountaintops about it, and I was completely wrong. These people that have him going in the 6th and 7th round are idiots. No, those people know what they're doing, and I'm an idiot.
Well, here's the thing. You draft a guy you think's going to come in and start for you, you draft him early as you can get him. The guy's going to be maybe for a while at least a backup, if not a career backup. Get him in the 5th round, or take somebody, his facsimile thereof. I really think they did miss on Will Howard. I think eventually he will be a regular starting quarterback in the NFL.
And they also got Jack Sawyer in the 4th round.
Yeah.
The Steelers do this a lot. They get Buckeyes that are not just good, but are great values and great guys. Like when they got, like, Cameron Hayward fell to, like, the late 1st round. I was like, oh, my gosh, here we go again. Cameron Hayward, as you know, like, he played in the Sugar Bowl that didn't count, the 2010 season against Arkansas. Ohio State won that game. Exactly. That was block punt. That was his final game, and I was there on the sidelines. The trainers, he hurt his shoulder, and the trainer's like, hey, Cam, don't go back in. It's not worth it. He was like, screw that. I'm going back in. Imagine that back then, like, he's getting ready for the NFL draft. There's no NIL. He's completely, like, relying on being a first-round pick, and he's like, no. And they're not playing for the national championship. They're playing for the Sugar Bowl, and he doesn't know at the time that it's going to get wiped from the books. But, man, the Steelers, Ryan Shazier's another one, Santonio Holmes. They just do a great job.
Mike Vrabel got drafted by the Steelers.
3rd round.
They had no idea what to do with him.
No, they let him go for 3. Yeah.
He goes, I love this story. Then he goes to New England, and Bill Belichick invents a position for him. And then 2 years later, everybody's looking for the next Mike Vrabel in the draft. I mean, that's how things change in the National Football League.
Two-way star Mike Vrabel. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, played a little tight end.
Caught a few touchdowns.
Caught some touchdowns.
Should have been the MVP of one of the Super Bowls and didn't get it.
You're right. All he did was catch touchdowns as an offensive player. So Brian Hartline calling plays. Let's get into that a little bit. Like, I think he's more than ready for it. He is the best in the country at recruiting wide receivers. He's the best in the country at coaching them up. Because obviously he gets guys like J.J. Smith that are 5 stars, Carnell Tate. He's also gotten some guys that were not ranked that high that he's turned into first-round picks. Chris Olave was not ranked that high. Brian Hartline as a play caller taking over for Chip Kelly. Where are you at on that, Tim?
I think it's time. I mean, and it's kind of like time to, to show what you can do. And that, am I saying he's going to be the next A, B, C, or D genius offensive coordinator? That remains to be seen. I mean, he's got a lot of raw material, for want of another term, to work with for sure. And I like him a lot. Whether he was ready or not 2 years ago, I think the main thing was Ryan Day wasn't ready to not call plays. Right. I think it was more of that.
Right.
And number 2, Ryan Day understood that the guy that he had ordained to take his place maybe wasn't quite ready in whether form or fashion. So he was probably more harsh judging him then, you know what I mean, than he is now, obviously, because he's turned back around and named Brian Hartline the offensive coordinator. And the thing about it is, I always remind people, you're not the offensive coordinator's not just going there like he's got a video game control and he's just picking plays off lists and stuff and running them. I mean, this is stuff everybody's agreed on through the week, what should be in the different packages. I was telling people last night, I've got this guy coming on, Thad Wells, coming on next week. I've had on my podcast. He's all about the fact that more and more coaches are going to be whispering something into their cell phone or whatever, their computer. AI is going to be very involved more and more with play calling, and why wouldn't it be? And so we'll see. And you have to embrace new technology because everybody else is going to do that too. So we'll see if that plays a role in it. I'm going to have him on this show next Thursday. Just talk a little bit about that. Might have 2 segments with him because you can't really. First, you got to set the ground. But the bottom line is Brian Hartline. I think he's ready. Do you agree? He even said this during the spring. I think Jeremy Birmingham asked him a question about it, but we all were going to try to ask it. He seems more mature or more, that's not even the right word, more grizzled, more worldly about the position, about the job. And he's, you can say he's young. I mean, Lincoln Riley was a head coach when he was, 32 or 34. Ryan Day was a head coach when he was Brian Hartline's age now.
Yeah.
So, it comes for different people at different times and stuff. But I think he'll do a good job to sum it up. I mean, who's going to coach the wide receivers now, though?
He still will.
I know.
I know.
I'm just joking.
I know. It's just like coach. I know they have a quarterbacks coach, obviously. It was like Coach Day with the quarterbacks.
Yeah, but Billy Fessler did a hell of a job in that regard. Yeah,
he absolutely did. He
Last
earned
year.
that promotion. I think Coach Day's taken a lot of pages out of Nick Saban's book.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good book to steal from. The GOAT's book, like he's becoming the CEO. For years, Saban wanted to call the defense, right, for Alabama, and then he eventually backed off of that. Right. Ryan Day wanted to call. He's never going to give up offensive play calling. Then he does. They win the national championship. What else is he doing that Saban did? Bringing in a lot of analysts, right? What used to be with Ryan Day would say, like, hey, too many cooks in the kitchen, right? I don't want too many analysts. As you were alluding to earlier, we were talking about the offensive line. Like, they have Tyler Bowen, and they've got like 3 guys under him as analysts just for the offensive line. But you brought in Chip Kelly last year.
Who can now coach, by the way. They can coach on field.
Exactly. And, you look what Saban did with multitude of guys like Kiffin, Sark, like Bill O'Brien, on and on and on and on. Look what Ryan Day's doing now, with like Chip Kelly.
It's like
Matt
Sark
Patricia.
was quality control or something one year, and all of a sudden he fires Lane Kiffin.
Yes, that's right.
And boom, Sark is the offensive coordinator for the bowl game or for the playoffs.
For the national championship game.
Right.
Yes, that's right.
That wasn't the guys just sitting in the corner like eating peanuts. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, there was, real quick before you go, there was one of those hard knocks kind of things with the ESPN one year, like several years ago, and they had a shot of the morning staff meeting with Alabama. They were doing Alabama. And I think I counted one time, there were like 25 or 26 guys that I could count in the picture that you could see, but the camera was in the corner of the room, so you couldn't see everybody else. And I'm just going, wow, that's different.
I'm having a blast talking Buckeyes with my guy, Tim May. Up next is #Buckeyes. This is The Buckeye Show.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
Ma, the meatloaf!
The Fan.
Huntington is banking that just clicks. Like asterisk-free checking. An account that's filled with features, but no monthly maintenance fee, no matter what. Because it's your money, right? So we think you should keep it. It's just one more way we're looking out for people every day. Is your bank looking out for you? Maybe it's time to switch. Visit your neighborhood Huntington branch or make the switch at huntington.com/yourmoney.
Discover uncompromising quality at a reliable price with Giant Eagle and Market District. Look for signs throughout the store highlighting lower prices. Surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle. Experience value like never before. Visit Giant Eagle today to see how easy it is to save.
Hey friends, Beamer here. Listen to this. Wouldn't this sound nice? Clearer skin, better posture, improved digestion, better sleep, and more energy. Just a few of the endless benefits clients have received with Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
AgPro has been family owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
They're trained. They're prepared. Let's do it. They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. And no matter what tasty choice you make, our low prices add up to big savings. Plus, you get over $600 in digital coupons each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump and points. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Attention Columbus. Town Properties just clinched the title of the largest residential property manager in Columbus, thanks to the Columbus Business Journal. With pride, we oversee 25,000 plus households in the Columbus metro area, ensuring fantastic places to call home. Whether you're on the hunt for an exceptional living space, a top-notch association management company, or a property manager for your multifamily portfolio, visit our website at town.properties.com and let us elevate your living experience. Town Properties, always managing great places to live.
It's almost time for the inaugural 9.71 The Race.
Sponsored by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center.
Run, walk, have a beer with Common Man. Whatever strikes your fancy. Sign up today at 971therace.com.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off of closing costs. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 6.625%, APR 6.685% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3RD-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Social media can be a cesspool. Allow us to navigate the waters. #Buckeyes.
Sponsored by the Waterworks. Call the plumbing, heating, and cooling technicians at the Waterworks and header today. Call 614-232-2222. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back to the Buckeye Show. Dave Biddle, Tim May. Rhyme time. It's time for #Buckeyes. What do you got, Rhyme time?
So, over the past couple weeks or so, Ohio State, Notre Dame in basketball, they scheduled a home-and-home series, which I love. I love seeing these get set up in college basketball, whether it's just big-time programs. Ohio State, Notre Dame, that's two programs that have been pretty good. Maybe not as of late, but there's going to be a lot of big names playing in that. You got Bruce Thornton and John Mobley for Ohio State. Marcus Burton is an absolute bucket for Notre Dame. It'll be a fun little home-and-home series for sure.
I like it. Turn your mic on. You're a professional.
You can't do anything about the past, but what a shame that Ohio State and Notre Dame haven't played a lot in the past in football and basketball. I mean, what a shame. Well, I mean, from my house, I can be parked at Notre Dame in 4 hours and like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You know? And that's going across 30, if you hit all the lights right, it might be 4 hours. Or it might be, you go through Warsaw and all those little towns.
Is that little, with the 33? What is it? Yeah,
30.
Because
US 30.
US 30. Does it go
from
through
Fort Wayne to Plymouth, and you go north.
Does it go through Valpo?
Yeah. No, you don't get. If you go to Valpo, you're lost.
Okay. You're too far. Then you're too far towards Chicago.
But it's just a shame.
Right.
We're talking about Notre Dame and USC. They could keep their rivalry together if you just get into the Big Ten. And but yeah, I guess that's a big deal. Ohio State playing Notre Dame.
Yeah, and some big deals tonight. We have a couple of Game 5s. One in the NBA, Pacers at Knicks, tips off a little past 8 o'clock coming up. Also in the NHL, Game 5, Oilers at Stars. Oilers are up 3-1. Pacers up 3-1.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I would probably pick the Stars tonight, but I think the Pacers are actually underdogs tonight. Knicks are favored by 4.5. I like the Pacers on the money line. I think they're going to close it out tonight in the Garden.
I like the Pacers also because of the way they played and handled the Garden the first two games of the series. I agree with you.
And it looks like we're heading for a rematch in the Stanley Cup Finals with the Oilers and the Panthers. But Oilers have to
get it done.
They have to get it done. The Stars are no joke. If the Stars can win tonight, they could make this interesting.
What do you think the NBA thinks about Pacers Thunder final series.
I love it. I'm sure like the TV
Heartland.
execs are not thrilled that it's going to be Indianapolis versus Oklahoma City. I love it. I mean, the Pacers, I know their regular season record wasn't great. It wasn't bad. 50 wins, not bad. 50 and 32. But like it's misleading because like since January, they've been awesome.
Yes.
And they have been awesome in the playoffs. Their starting lineup is good and they're deep. Bringing guys like Obi Toppin off the bench. Like they're deep. They're so well coached with Rick Carlisle, one of the most underrated coaches, I think, in all of sports. Certainly in the NBA, so we'll see what happens.
It's the number one offense against the number one defense if that matchup would present itself.
Yeah.
Nice.
How could you not love that?
I love it.
Absolutely. I mean, the heartland, the pulse of the NBA is located in the heartland.
Kind of feel bad for the Seattle Supersonics fans. They're like, geez.
Seriously. If it tells you anything, it's like Duke and Houston in this past Final Four. Number one offense and number one defense, and that was a classic.
Went down to the last play, baby. I think Kelvin Sampson's still staring out at the court right now as we speak.
Oh, gosh.
We didn't even get a shot off.
I thought he was finally going to get his, and he didn't. Not good. Not good at all. What is good is Jack's Place, the Memorial Tournament, and we have your leaderboard right here. Ben Griffin is your leader after the first round. He is 7 under par. Colin Morikawa right behind him, 5 under. Then it's Max Homa, 4 under. Then we have a 3-way tie for fourth with Shane Lowry, Keegan Bradley, Nick Taylor. They're 3 under. And then a 4-way tie for seventh. Scotty Scheffler is one of them at 2 under. Do we still feel like Scotty is the favorite? Yeah.
Yeah, because he's sitting right there. It's like Jaws. You know, Andrew Novak's been playing pretty well too, and the guy I love to watch play is Akshay Bhatia. You know, left-handed, just doesn't. Sometimes I'm not. If he's listening, this is not a slam. It doesn't look like he necessarily always belongs out there. Just kind of the way he plays. But man, he's a thinker. He's he's unafraid to try any shot, etc. And he captured that. He had that win up in Detroit last year and stuff. But I like him a lot, man. I just think he just throws a different flavor in there.
Scotty is still the favorite.
Yeah,
right now.
I imagine.
Of course he is.
Was he like plus 280?
Plus 230.
Plus 230. So it's his odds have actually have lowered.
Yeah.
He's more of a favorite now,
Well,
despite the fact he is 5 under or 5 behind the leader.
Yeah.
He's now more of a favorite than he was when the tournament started.
Right, and one of the toughest holes on the course today was number 16, the par 3, and Ben Griffin and Scotty Scheffler. I don't know about the other guys. They both birdied 16, so we could have quite the battle.
I think Morikawa did too.
Yeah,
he threw a dart in there.
Exactly, the good guy. The cream rises to the top, baby.
Morikawa was interesting because he was the run-up last year, gave Scotty like a really good run. And when it looked like Scotty was going to run away with it, Colin finished as the runner-up. He actually won a tournament out here once. It wasn't the Memorial because it was during COVID.
Yeah.
So it was the workday, I believe.
Yeah.
Like whatever was typically the tournament before the Memorial. He won, but it was at Muirfield. So he obviously plays well. He's now in second place, 5 under. I imagine has the second lowest odds to win it all. Or to win the championship, yeah.
He's up there.
Yeah, he is. I don't have the odds now. Oh, here it is.
I could just look at my phone.
Yeah, he's plus 400 right there behind Scotty.
Okay, I'll take it. So you're liking your plus 1,600. I'm liking my 1,400, but I like your 1,600 better.
Or I like Max. He's 16-1, and he was 4. I think he started 80.
You got him at 40 to 1?
I got him at 40.
Ooh, that's nice. I like Max Homa, too.
Hey, how about Keegan Bradley, man? Kind of showing up almost every week. I mean, the captain of the Ryder Cup team, but I mean, the guy still got game. And you think he'll be a playing captain? What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Why not? I mean, I don't think the team is deep enough to not have him play.
Right.
I would hope he plays. Yeah. It's disappointing. I mean, like, speaking of golf, but switching gears a little bit, that Rory is not here. Seems like Jack is not happy about that at all.
No, he wouldn't be. I wouldn't be happy about it either.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a premier tournament, signature event, as everybody knows now and stuff. And, but everybody has to get ready for the U.S. Open in the way they do. And the U.S. Open is 2 weeks from now at Oakmont in Pennsylvania. But I'm not sure I've seen a reason offered by Rory about why he's not here. Maybe it has been out there. I just haven't seen it. But it's just, you gotta let the Golden Bear know, man. He's one of the icons of all time, and just courtesy says, well, I'm not playing this week, Mr. Nicklaus, and this is why.
Exactly, Tim. Very well said. Like, if he doesn't want to play or has a reason, fine, but reach out and talk to Jack. For Jack to find out through the media, like, right. I was not a fan of that at all. Go ahead, Rhyme Time.
So, real quick here, do you guys want to take a guess at how many times Ohio State and Notre Dame have played each other in basketball?
In basketball? Wow.
Is it single digits?
I remember once they played like it was like, gosh.
Single digits?
They played like 07, 08 or something like that, or 09. I remember William Buford had a big game.
I'm going to guess
Ohio
5.
State came way back and like they won. I don't know if they played since then. That was like in like 2008, 2009. What'd you guess?
I'm guessing 5 just because it's half a 10.
Okay, I'll go 6.
They have played 4 times.
I win.
Ohio State leads the series 3-1.
Bam.
3-game win streak, too. They had first played in 99 and 2000 and lost 59-57. It was here. And then in 08 and 09, they played in Indy and they won that game. And then 13-14 was a classic in the Garden with Aaron Kraft. And then the last time they played was 20 and 21 in South Bend. Ohio State won 90-85.
Yeah, why repeat or have someone as a sort of a semi-regular opponent who all you do is put on classic games?
This has been the Buckeye Show. Up next is ESPN Radio. Thanks for joining us.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. A lot of dealerships not stocking much inventory right now because of reasons. But at Jermaine Lexus, they have new inventory arriving every day. Get what you want when you want it. Lease the all-new NX350 for as low as $389 per month. How about rates as low as 3.99% up to 48 months and 4.49% up to 60 months on their most popular models. Jermaine Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton. Check them out online, JermaineLexus.com.
Health insurance companies are expected to carry health benefits, but CareSource does so much more. We look beyond doctors' offices and hospitals to see the challenges that face our members. Then we help them achieve not just better health, but better lives. Along with great benefits, we also help our members find stable jobs, housing, childcare, and rides so they can find greater independence. At CareSource, we're removing barriers. We're improving lives. We're reimagining healthcare.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
It's Kubota Orange Days. From America's #1 selling compact tractor to zero-turn mowers and versatile RTVs, get your perfect match delivered to your door. Now through June 30th, get 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,500 off BX23S tractors. See the details at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
Visit BuckeyeKubotaDealers.com to find a dealer near you.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag BuckeyesCare.
Broadcasting